Well, I went to two urologists today. The first one they scheduled me for not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that for my kidney stone operation. It's either go up through your urethra and laser it out, or going through my back and into the kidney and I guess cut it out. I don't know if you still use a laser, but um, so those are the options. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna see if I can get something sooner. So I call other urologists, and they refuse to tell me. They're like, we can't tell you any kind of timeline for surgery because like we have to see you before we schedule it. I'm like, yeah, but like, I assume a person wants to schedule something like sooner rather than later, and like as a human would want to do in everyday life. And how would a person identify which doctor to go to? And I get sort of where they're coming from. Like if you started from scratch and you're like, well, you don't know what's wrong with you, we don't know what's wrong with you. Of course, we have to identify that before we figure out what surgery, and then we can give you a timeline. But I already know. I tell them on the phone, I'm like, I know what surgery I need. I need surgery to remove the kidney stone through my back or through my urethra, as told to me by like four other urologists, like several at the ER and the one I saw this morning. And and that's also, if you just Google it, that's pretty much if you have a 23 millimeter kidney stone, those are your options. Um, I mean, sound vibration could take a long, like many treatments, and then you could get some pretty jaggy stones still hanging around in there, like pieces of my bigger one. Then I'd have to pass those. So that's pretty much, those are the options I have. So given that I already know what surgery I need, they should be able to tell me then, because like if a surgery is deemed necessary, they know on the schedule, how long that would be. Is it a day? Is it a week? Something. So, and I'm explaining this to them and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm just, I don't know why the logic is so hard to follow. Like, imagine you called an airline and then you said, I need to buy a ticket for a flight. And can you give me the times from like point A to point B? And they're like, no, you got to buy the ticket first. And they're like, wait, but first I need to know if you can actually like, I got to go there in 3 days. Like, do you have flights during that time? And if so, what time during the day? And they're like, sorry, we can't help you. Like, you got to come in. You have to physically travel here and buy the ticket, and then we'll talk to you. That's the logic that the doctor's office is using. And I'm just like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we already know the details of what needs to be done, so you should be able to tell me. And you might think, well, I just gotta not be a bitch and just go to these places. And it's like, okay, well, I can't just keep going to urology appointments all day long, because guess what happens? My insurance will be like, what are you doing? You already went to urologist. I'm not paying for this. Which makes sense, because it's stupid. And so it's like, I can't just keep going to urology appointments, and they won't tell me when they're scheduling out for. It's like, it's not hard. They could literally go up to the doctor and say, hey, doc, like, we got to schedule this surgery. This guy's in a lot of pain. When's the soonest you could do it? Or like the scheduling assistant or whoever. I mean, we're talking like 30 seconds of someone's time, and they're just like, yeah, but what if you just suffered in hell for like a week? More, like, longer than you had to. Wouldn't that be cool? And the really, really frustrating thing about it is that these people, if they were in my shoes, would be crying like crazy for help, would be crying like crazy for someone to help them really soon. And they'd have a total problem with this utterly failed logic, this complete failure of using your brain. I mean, like, every time I deal with doctors and the medical system, it's not like I don't think the people are just stupid because the medical system's fucked up because of insurance and all that. But like, I understand if people are like, yeah, I do this shit and it sucks, but that's our medical system and that's my job and I do it that way. But I have a problem with it when people are like, it makes sense. It's like, no, it doesn't fucking make sense. It's fucking stupid. Like, it's just, that blows my mind. Like, it's fucking moronic. And like, you couldn't do that in any other business because people wouldn't go to you. But in health, they're like, well, we know you got to go to somebody, so we're gonna act however we want because you can't just not go. You know, like if every movie theater you want to go to fucking sucks and they're all a bunch of assholes, well, guess what? You just won't go to a movie theater. You'll watch TV at home or watch movies at home. You don't need them. But the healthcare system, like, you can't not go. Like, I can't not get a surgery. So they're just like, well, what if we just never fucking get better then? Never use our brains or anything because we don't have to. So that's it's just the whole clusterfuck. It's just a clusterfuck, man. I don't know how elderly people deal with this because they can't figure shit out as well. A lot of them struggle mentally with and using technology and all the charts and scheduling stuff online, and it's like, I mean, I just when I was in Riverside on Friday, I saw a guy getting unnecessary back surgery. It's just like, I saw his stuff. I don't know if I'm supposed to. He's my roommate. Um, but I saw a picture of like his spine, and he had a disc that was having an issue, and it's like, I'm like, he needs to do like decompression exercises because I've seen worse. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but just on everything, it's like I had the same problem with my back, and I did decompression exercises like reverse hyperextension. I don't have any pain in my back. It's fine. But they're just like, if they tried that first for a while and it still didn't work, I understand surgery, but it's like, he wasn't even aware of it. So it's like, he didn't do anything like that. And I don't know. So yeah, everything's going well. But I mean, I guess, silver lining, I am scheduled 9 days from now to get this thing out. And then I guess the stent stays in for another week, and then I get that out too. And till then, I'm, pissing blood and intense pain constantly. Hey.